Welcome everyone to Gamer Meld. Today we've got a slew of leaked custom 5700 XT GPUs, Nvidia owners are at risk, and older motherboards are losing PCI Express 4.0 support. But first, check out today's sponsor, Drop, formerly known as Massdrop, a group buy website with amazing deals on PC hardware. It's free to sign up, so what are you waiting for? Start saving now by visiting the link in the description below. Okay. It's news time, and first up for today, we've got a ton of new third-party Navi GPUs. And before I get into it, keep in mind that most of these were reported by Chinese media who've clearly had events dedicated to some of these, so I'll definitely assume they're accurate. Starting things off, we have the XFX Radeon RX 5700 XT, maybe Fatboy version, though I'm not sure because we haven't gotten confirmation on the name just yet. Either way, this XFX is a 2.5 slot design with 8 and 6 pin power connectors. It comes with two 10cm fans, and you can see that it's pretty much huge. Now, what's interesting about this is that we know from a video I did not too long ago that Igor's lab was able to get a 5700 XT up to an impressive 2.2 GHz using a registry mod and a custom water block to up the power limit. With this, he was actually able to up the 5700 XT's power limit by 95%, and though it only averaged around 250 watts with some spikes here and there, he was actually able to beat the 2070 Super while it was completely overclocked out. So keeping that in mind as we go back to the custom GPUs, I can understand why they're going with some pretty beefy heat sinks and shrouds, though I will say it's a little reminiscent of Vega. Still, while I obviously doubt an air-cooled GPU could get it clocked as high as the water block, with a decent cooler, there's a lot of performance potential when it comes to Navi. The next card we have is yet another XFX card, and this one is actually based on an older favorite among enthusiasts. The Thick 2 is a redesign of their 290X cards, and it features a dual fan, 2.5 slot design with a sweet grille that definitely reminds me of older muscle cars. Whether that's a good thing is obviously up to you, but that these cards also come with fully covered backplates. Next up is the Power Color RX 5700 XT Red Devil, and if you haven't noticed the trend, this is once again a 2.5 slot card, but this time it comes with two 8-pin connectors, so there's quite a bit of headroom for those hoping to really push it. Apparently it's factory overclocked, but I can't seem to find the final clocks just yet. Finally, we have the Asus RX 5700 XT ROG Strix, and yet again we have a 2.5 slot design with two 8-pin power connectors, and it's actually set to release on August 16th. To be honest, I'd expect the rest of them to release around the same time. Next up for today, I have an unfortunate story for Nvidia owners everywhere. The company has announced that they found 5 security vulnerabilities within a recent driver update for Windows. Unfortunately, this affects just about all of their cards, including Geforce, Quadro, and Tesla SKUs. The vulnerabilities are labeled as very dangerous, and I can for the most part see why. It seems hackers can run code without warning, which is always bad. The good thing though is that these do require local access to your computer, so those in office settings are likely the main ones who need to worry. Luckily, Nvidia has released an update to fix them as well as a guide to determine if you have the right version. I'll actually have the Geforce driver download linked in the description below, so make sure to check that out. Lastly for today, it looks like Gigabyte is pulling PCI Express 4.0 from their non-X570 boards. For those who didn't hear, AMD has kind of already promised that PCI Express 4.0 wouldn't be supported, with motherboard vendors claiming it's due to traces for PCI Express 4.0 needing to be wider than 3.0, among other issues, so it's an obviously understandable hardware limitation. Well, some motherboard partners did release support, but in a new update for both Gigabyte's 300 and 400 series boards, PCI Express 4.0 support has been stripped away. As far as who's to blame, it's either AMD's Agisa code or Gigabyte themselves. Either way, if you have PCI Express 4.0 on any of your boards with the older BIOS and everything works fine, you aren't being forced to update, but you'll have to forego any kind of security or bug fixes that come from future updates. So while that does it for today, what did you think of the news? Excited for new custom Navi cards, or have you already turned this off because you're updating your Nvidia driver? Hopefully you tune back in though. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And as always, have a great day.